What are we holding on to, Sam? There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for.
Sam is hungry, and he's hormonal. Welcome to episode 7, the finale episode of Lord of the Rings 2 Towers.
Let's go.
We've gotten through episodes 1 through 6, and by golly, you, the listener, have made it all the way to episode 7. Could not be more excited.
Congratulations.
After 6 episodes, Stevie has no idea what the opening format of these are.
No, not a clue.
Goes with a hard spoiler.
No.
This is spoilers.
No, not a clue. But, welcome to spoilers. Sorry I forgot to say that. Josh, what do you got for us as far as trivia goes before we get into the meat and bones of this movie?
On these episodes, we've been trying to get into the meat and bones as quickly as possible.
Meat and bones.
But on this last episode, I just wanted to remind everyone that we have a really tight trivia race at the end of the episode. And whoever loses is the Gollum, and they have to do a punishment episode chosen by the ring bearer. So, our standings, just to give you a quick preview, there's 4 people with 14 total points, which means they're all tied for first. Mikey, you're in second to last, and Brett, you're actually the Gollum at this point. But I think this trivia, anything could happen. So stay tuned for that.
Like I told people before, I'm not giving up the ring. I've been carrying it for, all the way through Fellowship. Got my hands back on it now, and that's how it's going to end. So
The ring is mine.
It's a special trivia, too. And Stevie, maybe being on the pod for a long time might help you out in the trivia.
Oh, Baba. That's scary. But let's get into this movie. Kylo, Corey, you're one for comedy. You enjoy comedy films. I know you also enjoy musicals. You have a vast variety of taste of film. I feel like within the Battle of Helm's Deep, there is a lot of comedy that almost takes away from how dire things can be throughout the night. This is like a nighttime fight. This starts at midnight, ends at 8 in the morning. Do you enjoy the comedy aspect of this battle?
I do like Gimli in general. The tossing of the dwarf
Yeah,
is
that's exactly what I'm aiming at. The tossing of the dwarf.
the main gag that's in this section. I mean, it's fine. It's I wouldn't say I'd change much about any of these movies. I certainly wouldn't change that. The little bits of levity we get in this movie, we know it's a very serious thing that's happening. It's epic. There's a lot going on. There's dire stakes. So the little bits of levity, I appreciate.
To your point, though, Stevie, we know for a fact children have just gotten exploded. Children's arms and heads have flown all over this battlefield. And now we're goofing around, counting orcs we've killed, tossing dwarfs.
Poor Hollis.
Can't think about it. Just keep going.
Well, it's hard to cry when you're laughing so much. You can't mourn the dead children when Gimli's goofing around with Legolas the whole time. So, yeah, fuck those kids.
Yeah, there's a mountain of comedy in this section, especially like we kind of pointed to earlier with the tossing of the dwarf.
Toss me. What? I cannot jump that distance. You'll have to toss me. Don't tell the elf. Not a word.
Which is, things are starting to really get hairy. People are starting to die left and right. Theoden's having to fight, which is the last thing he wanted to do. He just kind of wanted to get rained on and look upon things. Pappy, let's cut over to the Ents and Merry and Pippin. They finally come to a decision. I feel like Merry and Pippin finally have something to do in these movies. Isn't it kind of exciting?
It's not only kind of exciting, like I said, this comedy is working for me. And I don't even remember what they're doing right before this cutaway. I'm scrolling through. It's this is when they're retreating, right? So they have the big...
To the Hornbug!
they're pairing like we said, like children have died. They're now trying to prevent more children from dying. Like they're retreating. This is the most dire. And then like at this moment, it cuts to another walk and talk with like Treebeard and Merry and Pippin. Like, I really like it. I'm trying to think. Is this where they decide that they're not going to help and Merry like just flips his shit?
Yes.
Too? Is this part? Merry is not very diplomatic. He's not very good at convincing people to see his side. He's just very confrontational.
I do like the kind of two different, I wouldn't call them differing opinions, but there's two different attitudes that Merry and Pippin have at this point. Because Merry's kind of starting to see, like, we're nearing the end of the world at this point. We need to be doing something, we need to take action of some sort. And Pippin is more along the line of, I just want to get high on some space weed and eat for breakfast. Like, I don't need your diplomatic bullshit right now, Merry. Like, just leave me alone. But this part of the movie, which I think does expertly, because Brett, as far as war films go, I've always been under the assumption that war films are incredibly hard to shoot. You have so many different places to be, so many different characters, so many different things moving on at once. And this also has like 3 different stories going throughout, between like Frodo, going between Helm's Deep, going between the Ents. Did you like how it just, part of the movie really broke 3 moving parts constantly?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have to go check in the other stuff. I mean, I think the really exciting stuff is at Helm's Deep, but you finally get to see the Ents throw down, and that's like as awesome as you ever hoped it could be. And then you have to, like, it's like kind of boring, but you kind of have to know what's going on with Sam and Frodo. So I think it's done pretty well. I think they focus on the things that are most important, and then just kind of touch base with the other things, if that's what you were asking me.
Yeah.
Is Shelob the spider? Is she in the Two Towers book? Is that true?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So this is like a completely different ending.
Definitely.
Do you like it? Do you like it better? Is it a really? I mean, is this like all invented, right? They asked Gileath. See.
I hate that. That's like the one thing I dislike. Hate is a strong word. Again, I wouldn't change hardly anything. But I mean, that whole they wasted so much time going to Gondor and all that stuff like that when that doesn't really happen. Again, the Frodo Sam parts are super light. I mean, they have destroyed the ring by chapter 3 in the 3rd book, so they kind of had to stretch it out. Yeah, it's after 3, I believe. It's either right after 3, or it's like they get into Mount Doom at the end of 3. I mean, I think it's chapter 3, and it's done. The ring's destroyed, so they had to pad the 3rd movie, which I don't blame them for doing. I just don't like the making Faramir the D-bag who's, I don't know.
He eventually showed his quality.
Show us your quality.
So, Corey, what does the spider do in the 2nd book?
So all the stuff with Shelob in Return of the King movie,
Yeah.
that just happens near the end of this book. And I believe that the very end is when Frodo is taken by the orcs that find him, when he's been stung by Shelob, and Sam has to go in after them. That's kind of like the very last thing. But before that, like earlier, we do get to see stuff with Saruman as well. Like, the Ents attack. What's it called? What's Saruman's hangout called?
Isengard?
Yeah, they attack Isengard. We get to see Gandalf confront him in the Two Towers book as well. Not see it, but, read it.
He strips some of his power. He breaks his staff, but, like, even still, they make kind of a quick thing about it in this where he's like, don't listen to his voice. He'll put a spell on you. But, like, Saruman's biggest power is his voice. And he actually does get, like, all the Rohirrim people. They're like, let him go. He's a blah, blah, blah. Like, but he, like, literally puts a spell on him. And so Gandalf has to kind of, like, backhand him. So.
Yeah, his superpower is basically he can crank up the charm to, like, 100 and convince anyone of anything. It's pretty cool, actually, to read.
Yeah, even Gandalf was kind of like, didn't really know how he would be able to handle it with his new powers, so he was pretty weary when they were there. I mean, even, like, I think Theoden, I think he was ready to be like, oh, let's give him another chance.
Yeah.
So my question is,
Theoden's an idiot.
in the book, during their fight, do they have the Jim Sneaker sound effects that we got in Fellowship?
Yeah, they bring in a beatboxer, and he just kind of, like, makes those noises.
I mean, they play in my head.
That's all I want to hear. Mikey, things are getting real dire at Helm's Deep. Looks like no one's going to win. Like, how's Theoden's breakdown going? Because he just seems like he's ready to go.
Well, the orcs are really working on the door, so he makes a beeline to go help out and doesn't really do much besides get stabbed almost immediately.
I love that. Get stabbed once and he's out.
Yeah, I think he cuts.
He fell.
He fell.
He fell.
He saves someone who's getting like choke slammed by an orc, and he cuts off his arm or something, right? And then, like right after that, he gets stabbed right in like the upper body, and then he's like, "Whoop, gotta go!" And then he like like heads back farther into the castle. But after that, that's when we get the dwarf throws. Like, "Hey, I need somebody to like buy us some time while we figure out what's going on." And Aragorn and Gimli go out front and kill a bunch of orcs right there.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but Theoden is so annoying in this whole battle. Like, we touched on it last episode, but he's super like low energy at the beginning, and then throughout the beginning parts of the battle, he's like, "Is this all that you have?" Like, he's so cocky
jinx.
about it, and then they just start breaching the walls and fucking getting through the door. He's the worst.
Yeah, he says that when there's still like 10,000 more orcs still waiting to get up the wall. It's like, let's take it easy there, pal. They still got a million more ladders to climb up.
And you're fighting with old men and boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things are getting really dire. Theoden's kind of being a little bitch like he's been the entire movie. Like, part of me wanted for like Aragorn to scream at him saying, "I have no reason to be here." Like, at least have some energy. Like, nor Gimli, nor Legolas, nor I have any reason to be here. We can just run through the goat pass right now.
Is that the part too where like Aragorn and Gimli are fighting on the bridge and Theoden's like, "See ya," and they like board up the bridge? And it's like, these are literally your two best fighters. Why are you just abandoning them out there?
To the keep!
Good luck.
Seal the doors.
Well, he tells him, he's like, "All right, guys, you can get out of Dodge now." But like, they got nowhere to go. Right? Fortunately, Legolas is up there with some rope.
He literally says, "Hey, dudes, figure it out. We're chilling in here."
Yeah.
Pound, 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 pound.
Yeah, depressed Theoden's getting really, really low. People are dying. He's thinking he's gonna die. Josh, how awesome is that ride out that him and Aragorn tag team?
I love the usage of the word tag team because he literally says, "Let's draw swords together."
It's great, isn't it?
To any Midwestern bro means you pee at the same time in a toilet with one of your buddies. So this is clearly Tolkien talking about drawing swords in college with...
Josh, we don't need to hear about your college days.
Dang it. This is pretty cool. Like, everything's closing in, and Theoden basically is like, "You're right, we shouldn't go down like a bitch in these tunnels, so let's like ride out and kill a bunch of them before that." At the same time, there's these really cool parts happening in the background where Aragorn kind of like knows they just need to buy some time, and he looks at the window and it's like becoming dawn. I wanted to toss this to the group when I saw this, and hopefully Pappy has something to say, but like, did they need the voiceover of Gandalf being like, "Remember, Aragorn, on the dawn of the 5th day"?
That kind of goes
Like-
with what Pappy always says, like trusting your audience. I mean, a lot has happened since then, though. Like, I don't know. It's a toss-up for me.
Look to my coming at first light on the 5th day. At dawn, look to the east.
This is like way below like when Theoden's pointing at the map, like, "We are here and we need to go here," like in terms of like exposition. Like, this doesn't bother me that much. And yeah, to Brett's point, it's been a long time, and I think otherwise, I don't know, it would feel a little bit too much like Gandalf, Deus ex Gandalf Machia, if he just shows up out of nowhere, right? Like, you need maybe a little bit of reminder isn't the worst thing. It doesn't bother me. I don't know if it bothers anybody else, but
I think that voiceover was a pleasant nod or homage, if you will, to the animated movie from the 70s that Josh made us watch. Where at the end of that movie, where he's like, next time on Lord of the Rings.
He tosses his sword in the air.
Tosses his sword in the air. That's what that reminded me of. It was like, oh, it's a nice little callback to that. You know, Peter Jackson just honoring the people that came before him with the source material.
What if it came out that Gandalf and the Rohirrim had been waiting like just over the hill? Like, okay, it's not the 5th day at the first light, so they're like, all that people are dying, and they're like, oh, we got to make an entrance.
Brett, as a book reader, did the Rohirrim save everybody every time on hills? Like, I feel like in the movies, I mean, back-to-back films, the Rohirrim, like, ride down a hill, kill a bunch of orcs. Jump to the third movie. The Rohirrim, ride down a hill, kill a bunch of orcs. Is that how it goes in the books?
I mean, I don't know if they really stated explicitly, but, I mean, they fight on horses, and that's, like, the big point, like, the big advantage of riding on horses. You have the high ground, and I don't know, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's like when they have their last stand that we talked about a minute ago, which I think is a really cool moment, by the way, when they ride out on their horses. They're just mowing orcs down. Like, you know, when it shows them from the top view, just obliterating them. You know, they should have just done that maybe a little bit earlier, but...
We talked about that like a couple episodes ago because Gandalf says, meet them in the open field. That doesn't seem great. But Theoden, like, backs away. And maybe it was better just at the beginning to, like, ride out.
I think the opposite of whatever Theoden is doing is the smart plan here.
Exactly.
Theoden, give us a suggestion. I'm going to do the complete opposite of whatever you're saying.
He's just not a guy you want to hand the keys to.
Aragorn is like pleading with him, hey, what are we going to do? And he's
death.
like now talking to his second in command. His second in command is like, I guess we could just go through the mountain pass. He's like, thank you. That's all I was asking for was just a suggestion. Theoden is just like dumbfounded,
Give me
not
plan
doing
B,
anything.
you
Yeah.
stupid fuck.
Yeah. And Theoden is just like, I guess we could just die here. If you guys are cool with that, we could just die right here.
I'm still laughing at Brett saying that Gandalf's just on the other side of that hill on night on the 4th day. Be like, nope, we can't go up there yet. We gotta wait till dawn.
It's not time yet,
Hanging out.
but my uncle is dying. Nope.
Nope, just chill.
He nearly put everybody in Rohan, like in death's way. He single-handedly sunk the Titanic from being a horrible captain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's just not a guy you want leading. Like
Stevie,
if you see, what's that?
He has this line in here where he's like, now the brink of man is on our doorstep.
How did it come to this?
Yeah, man, because of you. He asks, how did it come to this? And it's like, dude,
'Cause
you
of
were like,
you.
you were in a moth coma for like 40 years, bro. It's all your fault.
You were literally Dusty making bad decisions.
I mean, he literally turned his brain on Fox News for, like you said, for like 40 years, and was like, "What happened, guys? I've been trying. No one's helping."
I can't believe it came to this.
And then all the people in Rohan are like, "No, Theoden, we all can believe this."
Have you guys seen that meme where it's like the guy in the hot dog suit and he's like, we're all trying to find the guy who did this.
I don't think I've seen that.
You haven't seen that meme?
Maybe. I'll have to
Oh,
see it.
it's all sent.
It's like, hey, we're all trying to find the guy who's responsible for this.
Who's responsible for this? It's a fantastic meme. Mikey, we go to Osgiliath, and Frodo is he's pretty whacked out from the ring. I think the ring is kind of talking for him at this point. With his, like, creepy exorcist voice. It's almost reminding me of Poltergeist. When he's like, they're here.
Yeah. His name is Faramir, right? The guy he's with?
Yeah.
Faramir is just like, here, hide out in the open and make sure nobody finds you. hide in this very dilapidated building and make sure a Nazgul doesn't grab you. But Frodo's not having a great time. He's pretty much tripping balls, I guess. He almost kills Sam. He attacks him when Sam tries to save him from a Nazgul, which I love that part because the Nazgul coming up like from behind that wall looks so cool, and that's like also one of my favorite CGI effects, I guess, in the whole trilogy. But yeah, Frodo's the ring really has a hold of him now, and he's just I honestly don't know how he's survived so long. He should be dead. This guy really cutting it close so many times.
He's got that look that, like, I just took a fat shot of heroin look that the ring gives him, you know? He's just completely out of it.
Oh, face.
I'll suck your dick,
All that
man.
white shit on his mouth.
Oh, Jordan, I've always thought that the second movie in any trilogy is really hard to land. And I think it would be impossible without Sam's speech. Did that really do it for you in this movie? 'Cause I think it brings like the whole movie together and really grabs it from the first one, takes it into the second one, and moves us closer to the third one. What'd you make of Sam's speech that really just ties everything together?
So it is good. It rallies everybody, especially Frodo. Like, it kind of brings him out of the darkness. I don't really understand why Faramir gives a fuck what Sam says. The whole time he's just dismissing everything that basically the hobbits say. And then he's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, nice speech, nice one. Just let him loose. Let him loose. It's fine. But no, it is kind of a good kind of bow on the end of this movie as the Helm's Deep battle is being fought and won. But you're right about the second movie in a trilogy, though. I'm glad they didn't do a Rian Johnson and just like backtrack on everything and subvert.
There's some good speeches in this world, and they're worth fighting for.
I'm not as impressed by Sam's speech. I'm more impressed when he goes full Rudy Rudiger and like backwards suplex tackles Frodo when he's trying to give the ring to the Nazgul.
Down a flight of stairs.
Can't run that
Nazgul
fast.
almost just chomps him, though. He almost just ate.
Samwise was off sides.
It's as jokey as it is. It's really effective when Elijah Wood has the knife sting to his throat, Sean Astin's throat. Like, I don't know. That's basically his Bilbo moment, right? Like, he's on the precipice of doing the whole like Smeagol Deagle mistake.
Yeah.
It's me, Frodo. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. It's your friend Sam.
Don't you remember Chips?
Remember the memes?
I was dropping no eaves, remember? This scene also made it very clear why Faramir was the second favorite child. Because the Boromir I knew would have been in tears hearing Sam talk like that. Like, just been crying, been like, we can't take you back to Gondor, go on your way. I'll die for you at any moment. Faramir's just kind of like, like, all right, like, yeah, just go.
Stevie, he's
What?
He's like, Boromir would be like, tell me all your poems, and Faramir's like, you have more poems? Well, how long are they? And
They are kind of in the middle
like,
of a battle.
That's what I have in my notes, though, for this. Like, Faramir hears Sam's poem, and it's good enough to let them continue.
I mean, look, I want to just squash this. I don't know who's going to comment and like try to contradict us. One of the reasons as well is that Sam has an outburst a little bit before that to Faramir's face and is like, you know what happened to your fucking brother? He went crazy, tried to take the ring, and ended up dead. It's like, I think that has a deep impact on him as well, like on a serious note.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes the flashback scene like all the much more better, right? Which makes it even crazier. It's like one of the last scenes that they shot, but it provides so much more context into like the way he looked up to his brother, and it makes it be like, okay, shit, if this got Boromir, I'm not gonna fuck with this. But
Yeah, I was thinking about that scene too, because I think the last thing Boromir says to Faramir before he rides off is, remember this day, little brother. Mm-hmm. And, I think it does help inform Faramir's decisions later on.
That's a very good point. I totally forgot about
Well put.
Sam kind of just trolling on Faramir, and really tugging at his heartstrings there. But they are freed and let go. Pappy, bring us home. What are we setting up for, like, at the end of this movie? Because I think it ends perfectly. But it seems like Smeagol is finally choked out, I guess.
I'm going to backtrack a little bit, though, because there's a part before that. I don't think this movie ends perfectly, really. There's these last edition scenes are a mixed bag. I cannot fucking stand the last little, like, Merry and Pippin jokes in the food house stuff.
Oh, it's so dumb.
That's in the extended only,
That's
though.
one of the worst parts of this whole trilogy. It's so stupid and not funny at all.
If they should share space weed with Treebeard.
What?
We've been complaining a lot about the extended scenes. Like, are they even worth it?
This was a mistake to even include in the extended, and it has nowhere to end. Like, Treebeard it just ends so awkwardly. Like, Treebeard's like leaning in as they're like about to get stoned off their ass. It's like, what?
Pappy, I completely agree. I was like, this is my first time watching the extended cut, and I was shocked that they even like went to the trouble to animate and like do the digital stuff for like Treebeard to come over and check out their little smoke shack.
Right?
Terrible.
Guys, this is before Kid Cudi. This is before Colorado.
Wait, you think this scene is good? You think this scene is good?
This is before Colorado legalized recreational weed.
Yeah, man.
This is way back when like all the stoners were like, yeah, hobbits smoke weed. They call it Old Toby, but wink, wink. We know what they're talking about. Then this movie comes out and they're smoking and laughing in the shack, and Treebeard is like, ooh, weed, and everyone loves it. Like, what are you guys talking about? It's terrible. It's great. Like, something happy has to happen at the end of this dark.
It's not great.
Aren't people like dying while they're in that little shack? Like, aren't people getting murdered like 30 feet away?
Orcs aren't people.
Orcs aren't people. That ant that was on fire jumped in the water. He's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's chill.
He's good.
Favorite part
good.
of that scene.
That's
like,
great.
As a kid, I was so nervous when that
Me
tree
too.
got lit on fire. He jumped back in the water, so excited.
I love seeing Saruman
the
up there panicking though. Like, he's been such a like overconfident shithead that like it's just good to see him like losing it. Like, oh man, I am fucked now.
Get the hell off my yard!
Finally, that signature look of superiority finally wiped from his face.
Yeah, signature look. That's Dooku, but yeah.
But
quick question. Oh, go ahead.
I was
Pat.
gonna wrap it up, so ask your quick question. Like you were.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
But like you asked before, Stevie, they're in a really cool looking woods. It's a very old looking woods, kind of some dead looking trees, and Gollum / Smeagol is now wrestling with the fact of, did Master betray us with Faramir? Like, what happened in that pool? Like, he lied to us, and it's kind of like not necessarily a tune in next week, but it's definitely a suspenseful ending, which you also often get in like the second part of a trilogy, right? It's setting up for Frodo to deal with some spiders, much to Brett's chagrin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do love the ending shot of this movie where it just shows Mordor and the Black Gates and the Nazgul flying above.
Awesome.
It ends just like the first one. It looks great, kind of like what we're getting closer to and eventually what we will get to. But I have a question for Corey, because you brought up Isengard and you brought up Saruman and how panicky he looks. Just a quick question. In the books, did him and Wormtongue have a relationship of sorts?
That's why they call him
No,
Worm Tongue.
I mean, there were no relationships like that in Lord of the Rings, despite many people's fanfics.
Is there fanfics like that?
Well, I mean, I'm almost positive there are Frodo and Sam.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, sometimes in the Lord of the Rings world, sometimes you're just boys. You know, Frodo and Sam, Merry and Pippin, Legolas and Gimli, and then you got Wormtongue and Saruman. You know?
Oh. Well, I think that ends this episode perfectly. I am so excited. Do you guys have anything else to add before we get to the final countdown of trivia?
I have something that you touched on, and then Jordan kind of joked about. But I'm curious your perspective, Stevie. Like a second movie,
Yeah.
almost always the characters split up. You know what I mean? From Empire Strikes Back to The Last Jedi, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like, it's a very common thing. You got your team, now you can focus on them individually. What makes this better than The Last Jedi split up? Assuming that you think that it is. Or other not as good split up movies. What does this do well? What can people take from this and learn?
So, what's important is how good the Fellowship of the Ring is.
Yes.
Because you're giving everybody arcs, and you're giving them, I guess, room to grow, room to fail, room to question who they are. And that's what, like, this movie does so well is, I mean, people doubting, people learning to overcome. And it really just comes together with Sam's speech of, like, you know, we shouldn't even be here right now. We should be dead. You know, I'm just as sad as you are. Like, it's almost like a second breakdown of the Fellowship, but he brings it back with, you know, there are things like worth fighting for in this world. I think it's like a common theme in this movie, whether it's the Ents, whether it's Aragorn screaming at Legolas, whether it's Theoden realizing that even if he does fail, his people still need him. And that's like when he rides out. I think you really have to build upon how good the first movie is. And also in the second, if you do a second movie, you have to make people question kind of like their own mortality through it. So I think that's when sequels fail, is when they split characters up and they don't really dig into who they are as characters.
I think also too, like if you think like Rey in Star Wars would be like the Frodo analogy, the A story.
Yeah.
The B story of this movie is better than the A story. You know what I mean? You actually care about it. You're not sending Finn off to Canto Bight to ride some CGI monstrosities. Like, it's actually like more interesting than the main story. I think that's a big thing to take away too.
I think all three, like A, B, and C stories, they could just be their own movies. The fact that they interweave is just what makes the movies so great. Like, I'd be totally down to just watch Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas just kick everybody's ass. Or I'd be totally down to just watch Sam and Frodo running around, running away from orcs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you just don't get that with that Star Wars movie. It's just one of those stories is much more important than the B or C plot going on there.
Give me a movie of Finn riding a CGI monstrosity any day. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually one of my least favorite things about Star Wars is the Canto Bight stuff. So I think that's
not good.
Perfect that you brought that up, because you know I could have no defense against it. So good job, Happy. I'm sure you planned that out well.
I did.
It goes back to some of our even earlier Star Wars criticism, back to Phantom Menace, with the end of that movie with the Battle of the Fates, also playing along with, that's a nice trick. And like Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, like...
Try spinning.
This movie has a great way of splicing these three stories together that is well-paced.
Mm-hmm. To kind of get back to your point, Pap, I also think what this movie does that a lot of movies fail on is consistency. And I won't go over everybody's consistency, but how consistent they are with Merry and Pippin, two minor characters that stand out so well. For the fact that, like, at the Fellowship meeting, they come running out saying, we'll go at the Fellowship too. Even though we weren't invited, we're going. You know, it's this one, it's, you know, we're going to go to Isengard, we're going to make a difference. And in the third one, they're the first ones to run out at the Black Gates. So I think the consistency between the characters carries over really well.
That's actually hits on my last note of the Two Towers. And that's when Pippin is like, no, Treebird, don't drop us off in the north towards the Shire. Take us towards the south, towards Saruman. And the Ent is like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But then again, you are very small. And as a 6'4" person and the tallest person on this pod, I will say I've used that line a lot in my life and will use it a lot henceforth.
Oh, just keep using henceforth. That's good.
Y'all ready for some trivia?
Henceforth into some
Trivia is henceforth.
Josh, give us the rankings!
Again.
All right. Things are going to get real now. Wait, are we going to do yes or no's for this in any way?
I thought we did that in the first episode when we ranked these.
I think the fact that we're giving these movies 7 parts, I think we can all say that they're a yes.
Yeah, I think that we devoted our time.
Let's do this like a wedding. Does anyone object? Raise your hand.
Yeah, no.
To a yes.
I don't object, but I will take this opportunity to say this is a lot of work. Brett recorded during a Packers game, which is unprecedented. Long-time listeners will know how shocking that really and truly is. So if you enjoyed what you heard tonight, like I said, a lot of people made a lot of sacrifices, potted late, 3 podcasts a night. There will be a link to our Patreon in the description. That the guy who kind of fucked us over. So we're looking for Patreons wherever we can go.
Wait. No, we didn't.
In the link,
Edit point.
please, if you like what you heard, please click the link and maybe like for a short amount of time think about becoming a Patreon. But back to you, Josh.
Okay. There's a lot of people in first. A lot of people have 14 total points. Pappy, Jordan, Corey, Stevie, and then Mikey is just 2 lower than that, and then Brett is 1 lower than that at 11. So everyone's super close, and this last game, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and if you get one wrong, you're out. And that's what place you get. And then the place you get is scored like a track meet, but doubled. So first place will get 10 points.
God, there's only one game.
10 fucking points.
I know. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 0. For the last place. So it's anyone's game, obviously. I feel like one thing that's missing in these Lord of the Rings episodes is we do kind of a separate feed for these, right, Pappy?
Good call out.
And sometimes the fact that like we do all these episodes on all these random movies and our movie game and our punishment episodes and what other kinds of episodes do we have? Television series? What else?
Major spoilers back in the day.
Yeah.
Oscar prediction shows.
So
a couple video games.
Yeah, just straight trivia games. Just sometimes we get blackout drunk, and that's an episode.
We have done that.
We have done that.
Talked about Jesus.
But we're going to go back through the spoilers catalog, and when it's your turn, I will tell you an episode number and the movie, and you have to tell me who hosted it. Everyone has...
Oh, come on.
Everyone has a 50-50 and a phone a friend. So for the 50-50, obviously it takes it down to 2 options. And then phone a friend is you can ask a fellow spoiler man. So besides me, you can pick any other spoiler man on the pod to have a quick discussion.
Saboteur.
Maybe they'll help you, and maybe they
But
won't.
not spoiler man, because that'll cost us $5 a time. So no, not the actual spoiler man.
Wow.
Spoiler-man will not help you here.
Are what's his name? Are his episodes counted in this?
Maybe if we go that deep. we're gonna
If we
we're
get
gonna
through
start
200
recent.
episodes.
We're gonna start recent and go back. So I can't predict how far back this is gonna go. Right? Pappy,
Yo,
you are the creator of spoilers.
this is true. Some say.
I want you to take us back not to 420, right, but to 320. And that was, I'll give you a hint. It was in Spooky Spoilers. Hereditary, episode 320. Who hosted it?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm not the sole creator of a spoiler. A lot of people came together. There was well, I won't say any names, so I don't want to get disqualified, but one of those people was Stevie, who also co-created Spoilers. He was the host of that episode.
Thanks, Pat.
That is correct. Stevie was the host. We're going to jump back in time to Spoilers episode 315. Stevie, you are another co-creator of Spoilers. You've been around for a long time, since the first episode. Do you have anything to say about that, and then also just who hosted episode 315, Ace Ventura?
For those who are listening at home or in the car, wherever you're listening, just so you know, the creation of the name, who named this podcast, that was all Pappy. He literally called me and said, we should name it Spoilers because everybody's afraid to spoil movies.
And also search engine optimization stuff, but, you know.
Yeah, but also that. But what episode am I doing?
315, Ace Ventura.
I'm super ADD on this pod. I believe Ace Ventura, that to me rings like a George pick. So I will say Trivia Master George.
Trivia, quote, master, more like a slave. Yes, that is correct. I did host Ace Ventura. I thought that was a pretty funny episode.
I agree.
Let's keep moving, though. That's a good job, guys. I think as we get further back, it's going to be harder to remember who that was. So,
sorry, what are the
Jordan.
lifelines? Phone a friend and 50-50?
Yes. Yeah. Phone a friend as you phone a spoiler friend. Jordan.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who spoiled and who hosted episode 312 Mulan?
And just so I'm clear, if I get this wrong, like I'm out.
You would be the Gollum.
Correct.
Probably.
And you will get 0 points, so you will remain at 14.
Ooh.
You won't necessarily be the Gollum, but you got a good shot.
I'm going to go ahead and...
It was recorded around 3 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to use 50-50 here, please.
Corey or Stevie.
It was Stevie. Who's taking a pee
What's
back
up?
there? Who's taking a pee?
Someone's peeing hard. That's a push.
You don't
That's
even
a
wait to see if
push.
you're right. You just know you're right. You were right. It was Stevie. Corey, you are,
my
I guess, our
God.
newest member on the pod. We love to have you. You're the only guy we didn't know, like, in high school, I guess.
You're the only friend we've made these slow 6 years we've been doing the podcast.
Well, yeah.
That didn't say, oh dear.
Corey, can you tell me who hosted episode 311, The Rock?
Yes. We're in the area where I've been on the podcast, so these ones I'll know. It's when we go back that I'm fucked. But this was a Mikey episode.
Indeed.
Nick Cage. What a guy. Revelation. in
What
The
a
Rock. Yeah. Pretty cool death scenes in that movie. Classic action movie.
Makes me want gushers.
Mikey,
Yeah.
thanks for popping in there. You're actually next. Episode 308 of Spoilers, but you were on episode 1. And sometimes, like, I forget that you're a co-creator, but you've been there since the beginning.
Co-creator is a very generous term, I would say, for my contribution. I've just been on since episode 1. I wouldn't say I've done nearly as much work as Pap or Stevie on a lot of this stuff.
Don't count out money, Mike.
Never. Mikey, episode 308 of Spoilers, Office Space. Who hosted it?
Ooh, I have a guess, but I want to be sure, so I'm gonna take a 50-50.
Josh. Or Brett.
Damn it, those were my two guesses. I think it's you, Josh.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Oh, yeah, that
Lock
was
it in.
me. Thank you. Yeah, Office Space. I felt like that was a comedy that held up even to Kylo's standards. So-
Yes.
Ooh.
Can you please put the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music to this trivia segment?
I hope the Zoomers appreciate the reference that I do every time from a 20-year-old game show. Like, I hope they really love that.
Dude, it's still on, so maybe they do.
Yes.
Brett, one of my best friends.
What?
You're the newest
What?
member of Spoilers, but possibly the most
okay.
beloved. Besides
Okay,
Corey,
well-
obviously.
Well, yeah.
I would say the most beloved.
Yeah, Brett gets.
You get
most
Brett
rave
gets the
reviews.
most fan mail for the listeners at home. That's 100%
He
true.
really does.
It's exactly how like
Oh.
Ringo got the most fan
Oh,
mail.
on the Ringo. Okay.
Didn't expect it,
Oh.
but it happens.
You're the last member to join the band.
Well, Ringo's better looking than John, probably.
This
so.
isn't about looks. It's a podcast.
True.
It's okay.
I know he went to looks right away, but anyway. Speaking of looks, Jean-Claude Van Damme starred in Kickboxer, which was Spoilers episode 298. Do you remember who spoiled that?
Oh man, I didn't want to have to use this so early. I have a guess because it's. I'll go 50-50 to be safe.
Jesus Christ.
Our randomizer's getting tired.
Yeah.
Mikey or Stevie.
God, I think it was Stevie.
You are correct.
Woo!
I did. Still nowhere near as good as another
Yeah,
JCVD movie we did, but still a fun one.
I think that's one of the greats of Spoilers podcast, that episode.
Why?
That's where we learned about the ancient tradition of fighting with glass fists.
Are you talking about Kickboxer or Bloodsport?
Oh, wait.
Kickboxing.
You're right. Yeah.
Because
You're right.
Bloodsport's got maybe my all-time favorite spoiler.
What was it?
Which is?
This something about his balls exploding.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All right,
Well, Pappy, we're going to go back in time.
Boy.
And I know you remember Spoilers well.
But I've also guessed 420 a lot of times on this podcast, so memory is hit or miss.
I want to ask you, on episode 290 of Spoilers, the Last Dance finale, who hosted? Oof. So the Last Dance was with Michael Jordan. He used like the Bulls thing. It's a TV show we did.
This is so much harder than everybody else's questions so far.
It is.
Definitely.
You do have both lifelines.
No, I know. I think I'm trying to like narrow down who it could possibly be. I'm gonna phone a friend.
I don't even remember who was on that episode.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna phone Josh. Can I phone you, Josh?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he said you couldn't. He said you can't.
Yeah, you can't phone friend me.
Josh is the fucking game genie.
All right, I'm gonna phone Stevie. Stevie, did you host any episodes of The Last Dance?
I did.
It was more in the middle, though, right?
It was more in the middle, and if I remember correctly...
So it would have... Go ahead.
If I remember correctly, I threw shade at Josh, saying, this is your idea. You're going to host the last one.
That sounds right.
Because I think we were bouncing off each other who's going to host, and I was like, Josh, this is your idea. Just do it.
Okay.
I want to say it's Josh.
Man, I'm gonna go with what Stevie said. I'm gonna go with Josh.
That is correct.
Thank you, Stevie.
Let's go.
Ah,
Thank you, Stevie.
And
I remember getting so angry at Josh over that.
for what?
That's a little behind the curtains peek into how we decide who hosts some of those TV
Swords and
shows.
shields action here.
Wait, why were you so mad at me? I don't
Because
understand.
you didn't want to host the finale when it was your idea.
Well, that's the correct answer. It was me. I love that series.
Oh, it's a good series. Yeah.
Kind of outside the box of what we typically do.
Also has a separate feed, so if you just want to like plow through those uninterrupted, if you just search Last Dance Spoilers, we are the first result, so you can just plow through those at your leisure.
Love it. All right, we're gonna keep going in order here, and Stevie, you're up next.
What's
I want
up?
you to tell me about. I know you love this movie, but did you host it? It's 286 episode of Spoilers. Mulan.
I already did
Yeah.
this one, Josh.
No.
Nope.
We did the live action one.
Oh boy.
Oh, good
This
call.
is the
Good call. My bad,
animated
my bad, my bad.
1998 Disney's Mulan.
Wow.
Sorry, that is
So
true.
do I have to
Thank-
name the host or just if I host it or not?
name the host?
Okay, this is an easy one. So I don't like hosting movies that I truly love. It's hard for me to talk about those things. And I'm pretty sure this was like a request by one of Pappy's Dan guys, or however Dave or Dan, whatever, how many people we have on. I want to say this is a Pap episode.
Pat, let's get down to business. Yeah, Dave Mello. We just had him on, and I don't like spoiling movies that I love either, but I like to edit episodes with good music. Like that's like my favorite thing to do. So that's almost like that's gonna drive a lot of my choices in 2021. Peek behind the curtain. But yeah, that was me.
Jordan, we're gonna keep going back in time. This is punishment episode 277 of spoilers, and this is over 50 episodes back, but it's the Antichrist from 2009. Who hosted it?
I think
I don't know.
I think this is from that seems too recent though. I was gonna say I thought it was from a Christmas trivia extravaganza punishment, but no, I'm not sure. Can I phone a spoiler, please? I'm gonna go back to Stevie. Stevie, a wealth of knowledge over here.
Okay.
Esteban. Do you remember what this punishment was for?
I think it was Swords and Shield.
Oh shit.
Or Oscar. I think it was Oscar, actually. I do remember loving the K. Jewelers aspect of the beginning of that movie. Except it just ended with a child jumping out of a window instead of every kiss begins with K. Money Mike hosted that episode.
Really?
I do believe so, because I think I co-hosted with him, but it was a Money Mike episode.
Whoa, this is a co-host deal here, Josh? Oh, man.
Not necessarily. I think this was more of me just jumping in a lot. I want to say this is Mikey.
Man, I really thought it was Josh. Okay, I will. I'll follow Stevie into Shelob's lair, and I'll say Mikey.
And you're correct.
Thanks, Stevie.
Great guess there, Jordan. Antichrist has everything movie lovers want. It's got hardcore penetration. It's got dead babies.
Willem Dafoe's giant
It's got
penis.
lots of balls getting mutilated. It's got everything you want. It's perfect for 2020.
Thanks, Stevie.
Perfect.
I try.
Corey, we're going to take a over 20 episode skip back and go back to 255. Can you...
Shit, we're getting far back there.
We are. Can you tell me, Corey, who hosted Kiss Kiss, Bang Bang? And Corey, you have both your 50-50 and Phone a Friend available.
Well, I wasn't on that one, so that makes it tricky. Well, since Stevie seems to be reliable, I'm gonna phone Stevie. I don't trust anyone else here.
I remember giving him guff about even picking this movie because I thought it was boring. But it wasn't a boring episode. Pappy chose that one.
Thank you very much. I'm going to believe Stevie. He's been true to his word so far and say
What
Pappy.
a good guy Stevie is.
You used your Phone a Friend.
Yeah, stop giving answers to people.
Stevie's not even trying to sabotage.
I'm not going to do that to people.
Stevie's waiting in the weeds. He's going to fuck someone up.
He's going to have such a good story leading up to it. Just totally...
Just sell it.
Buddy.
I'll say that it's not... Our format's weird, right? Because we put in the clips after we edit, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is so complicated. That's a hard movie to, podcast
It really was. That's why I
through.
told Pappy immediately that's a tough one to spoil.
Brett told me it's one of his least favorite episodes. Small anecdote, but
Definitely.
I don't mind it. I thought I did okay.
Mikey, episode 242 of Spoilers. I think this was spooky spoilers, but Army of Darkness... Who spoiled it? Who chose it?
Are you fucking with me? Because I think I spoiled that. I want to say me. Final answer.
It was Pappy, wasn't it?
Oh, I picked all the Evil Deads.
It was
yeah.
Pappy.
Yeah.
Brett's probably soiling in his pants right now because he loves shitting on those movies.
Cream in his pants.
Well, and hey, Mikey's out, right?
He's out.
I'm out.
Well, I just guarantee that I'm not the Gollum, so I'm really good mood.
Oh.
There you go.
Well, couldn't you lose on this round still, though?
Only with your rules.
Yeah, didn't we
Whatever rules, screw me. That's what it is. Go ahead.
Well, we still got to find who wins.
Yeah. Trivia never
Brett
lies.
never buries the lead. Brett, you're up next. Episode 239 of spoilers. First Blood. It's the first Rambo movie. Do you remember who picked that?
Oh crap! I think so, but I'm gonna be. You know what? Stevie. Who spoiled that? Who reviewed that?
Wait, is that your answer or a phone a friend?
No, my phone a friend.
Is everybody out of a phone a friend yet?
No, they're not.
God,
I am now.
Stevie,
darn it!
You still have
Stevie,
one.
you got one left.
God, to phone myself.
We all owe you, Stevie.
No, I believe in karma, so I'm not going to screw Brett. I thought it was a fantastic pick. I wasn't on the episode because I think I was really sick. For those listening at home, I get sick like 5 times a year. It's really awful. But that was, I do believe, a Money Mikey episode.
That's what I thought. Mikey,
is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought I hosted Army of Darkness, so who the fuck knows? I think it was me. Yeah, Rambo. Pretty awesome. Cops suck.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
It's pretty much all I remember from that movie.
Cops suck. Back to the top of the order. Pappy.
Sorry, real quick. The only thing I remember from that movie is Josh defending the police force.
Josh shocked the crowd and said, "Hey, he should have listened. All he needed to do was follow orders." Couldn't believe
Josh
it.
said, "Blue lives matter. Get out of here, hippie."
Just listen to the episode to see what was really said. But episode 237, the 36th chamber of Shaolin. Pappy, who hosted that?
Well, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Speaking of 36 chambers, and so neither is Josh, our lovely trivia master, who was the host of that episode.
How do you even remember that?
It was a friend request.
I don't think I'm gonna miss any of these. Unless it's like some bullshit Game of Thrones, Rick and Morty type situation.
You already had a Last Dance situation. Are you fearing anything else like that in Scary Moments?
We'll see. We'll see.
Josh, I'll say this. I watched that. I wasn't on that episode, but I watched that movie like right when the pandemic hit, and it's my biggest regret of not being on an episode. It's like one of my favorite movies I've watched in a long time. Great pick.
Good podcast, too.
Thanks. It was given to me by a friend.
That was fun. That was good.
So, Stevie, we're going to keep going back in time. Spoilers. This is episode 221, Raiders of the Last Ark.
Oh, I was pretty bummed when he picked it. I thought it was a boring choice, and I know he loves these movies, and I actually am quite fond of this. This is Raiders of the Lost Ark. This was a Money Mikey episode.
It's true. It's 100% true. Yeah, and we also subsequently ruined that movie because Indiana Jones is a pervert. So that's what we ended up figuring out.
Future IJ picks in the future, Money Mike?
What was that? The sequel?
Future IJ picks in the future? Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure 4 will be a punishment pick for me at some point. But I probably
maybe today.
Yeah. I'd be down to do the other 2.
Jordan, episode 203 of spoilers. Nightcrawler. Who hosted it?
Man, one thing that I'm really learning is that almost every spoilers movie, I'd want to say like, that sounds like a Stevie pick. Nightcrawler. Damn it. I think this is a Mikey pick. Final answer.
Wrong.
We went through a heavy Jake phase.
Yeah.
Jordan, I was going to say myself too, so.
It feels like a Mikey pick.
It does.
It was me. It was me.
I think me and Mikey both realized it was like our favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Basically.
I picked it because Mikey loved it, and remember I actually asked
right,
you guys to vote. I asked you guys to vote on that, Source Code, and Zodiac, and you guys all picked Nightcrawler. I was like, okay.
Corey. Episode 199 of spoilers. Mortal Kombat.
God.
Oh, that one I know. So I have the
It's a good
benefit
one.
of being a fan, and he loves to talk about this movie.
I
So
do it all the time.
I was gonna say someone else.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
I'm
No,
just kidding.
I just brought it up with Corey like
I'm
2
just
episodes
kidding.
ago.
Yeah, I know. It's that's a Stevie one for sure.
Stevie, is that right?
It's like the most dominating trivia win ever.
Yeah, it's correct. That's a movie I love dearly, and the soundtrack is legendary. So yeah, that was me.
Mortal Kombat.
Brett, you're up next.
Yes.
Been a 2 spoiler man eliminated, so there's 4 left. But Glass was spoilers episode 198.
Oh my god.
Dude, I wasn't even on. No, I haven't even seen that
Wow.
movie.
Don't waste your time.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I'll. This is probably not going to be right. I'll shock the crowd. I'll say Jode.
Jode?
Yeah, because
Uh,
I don't know.
I was on the episode. I don't remember
Was it
who hosted, to
me?
be honest with you.
It was
Was it
me.
That movie sucks.
It's
Come
me,
on
Austin.
now.
Didn't Pappy give it a yes?
It's better than Split, for
Oh
sure.
my god.
No.
100%.
Jesus.
Brett, that puts you in 4th place. We have 3 people to go.
That's okay. It's okay.
Happy? Episode 195 of spoilers was super bad. It was a super good review, but the name of the movie is super bad.
That was the first episode of 2019, I think, that we put out, or 18. One of those
Come
two. It was the
on.
first episode of the year. I remember that. And I also remember that Josh, you have soul, and you're super bad, and we're the host of that.
I did pick that movie. That's a great call. Thank
Oh,
you.
I thought that was a trick question. I thought Pappy hosted
Pap is
that.
like Schwab over
Real
here.
quick,
fucking
too.
Record keeper.
If you are a patron at any level, you get full view access to our movie spoiled database where you can see stats on each host in terms of their positivity or negativity, Jordan being notoriously the most negative host in the history of spoilers.
movies, folks.
And you can fact check these. And if you find any errors in the stats, we'll give you something. But that is the most tedious thing I could possibly imagine. So
Stevie, I love the fact that you and Pappy are both in this because you've been on here for so long. But episode 191 of spoilers had to have been a spooky spoiler. Carrie.
I remember this one because it shocked me. It made no sense. This man is an enigma to me because his picks make 0 sense. This was a Jordan pick, if I remember correctly.
That
Definitely.
is Jordan.
Wait, sorry. I didn't hear the movie. It broke up.
Carrie.
You said 191 Carrie, right? Yeah.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is yeah. That was a Jordan pick.
That's also the episode that gave us the Brett multiple pick food thing. I just know because that one's one of my favorite of spoilers.
Yep, that was me. It was random.
potatoes and gravy.
That's bullcrap. Josh did that before me.
Come on. Corey.
Was I
Gonna
right?
test your fanhood.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Test Corey's fanhood here. Episode 183, Evil Dead 2. Spoil it.
Oof.
You still have your 50-50.
Yeah, let's use that.
Pappy or Josh.
That's got to be Pappy.
That is correct. That was Brett. Was that your first no, Brett, in the history of spoilers?
I think Los Enchiladas was.
Oh
That makes
yeah, that was
sense.
Great
a
movie.
Classic.
That was the no that hurt me the most.
Yeah, but it's bad. That's a
in the
bad,
history of
bad
spoilers.
movie.
It's so bizarre to me. But yeah, the yeses movie, the movies Brett has given a yes to, and the Evil Dead 2 gets a no, continues to confound me. So yeah, check out that movie spoiled database. Give us money.
No, I changed how I gave my yes or no's because of you. So.
Thank you.
How so?
Well, he was giving me crap that I need to start picking worse movies and give no's more. So I started being more cynical. So.
Glad I
his
could
only-
help.
Yeah, so he can't be that mad at me.
Speaking of cynicism,
I'm not mad.
Pappy, gonna go way back to 174.
I am.
Point Break. Wait. 2015.
Yep.
Oh.
This was
I know
I
this
loved when Jordan did
Oh,
this.
God.
I think we should do this more often, just picking the sequel or the remake right after. But this was definitely a Jordan vehicle.
Oh yeah.
One of the worst movies we've spoiled, I would say.
Gave
Top
that
five.
I was on a heater in this era of spoilers. Some great random picks.
Rango.
You peaked, Jordan.
I know.
Stevie, episode 168 of spoilers was Labyrinth. Who spoiled that?
Are you talking about Pans?
Just straight Labyrinth with David Bowie and all of that.
Oh, that Labyrinth. Okay. If I remember correctly, this was a Jim Henson some sort of vehicle, and that to me rings like a Pappy episode.
Dance Magic Pap. Yeah.
Let's go!
Hello.
I'm just a lab.
Corey,
I can do this all day.
episode 163, Enemy.
Oh, I haven't listened to that one. That's God damn it.
Boy.
Corey, you don't have any lifelines left, do you?
No. That's Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Jalen Heil.
So I'm
Yeelin Holla.
gonna say Stevie.
Not me, guy.
No.
Jordan.
Was that me? Yeah.
Jordan, yeah.
I guess I can't do this all day.
Speaking
I
of
used to win
spiders.
so much more trivia. Ugh.
I will be 100% honest with the audience. Like, this is a little bit longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm very interested to see if Pappy and Stevie's memories go this far back, because they are fighting for the ring bearer position, which would choose.
I'm not giving it up.
It seems like it's bigger than that.
Which would choose the punishment movie for Mikey, which is a classic,
Potentially.
classic tradition for spoilers. Episode 156, Pappy. And remember, Pappy, if you lose, Stevie does not have to prove it or anything. That's it. And you still have your 50-50.
okay.
Stevie still has his phone friend.
That was my advantage for getting more point. Oh, okay. I guess he's the ring bearer. From last
150,
Sorry, go ahead.
156, Love and Mercy.
I think my intuition tricked me there a little bit because I think I told Stevie, who is my guest, about this movie. I think it was a Stevie pick.
That's correct. Love this movie.
Stevie, we're going to go back to 152 then. And that was the Black Panther.
I almost want to use a lifeline on this, but I remember listening to this laughing out loud because I wasn't even on it. Was this one of the first ones that PK was on? Is this when we started bringing PK into the fold?
You should use use your phone a friend.
Okay. I can't phone the host, though?
No. He knows the answer.
If we want to try to call PK, I think that'd be hilarious. Just to try.
No.
It's after midnight.
This is to me this is a trick question, but I think the only person that would know, Pappy. I'm gonna phone
yeah.
Pappy.
Okay, that's not the noise the phone makes. I'll be 100% honest. I'm not sure. That seems like one I would say I would host.
I know,
right? Like,
but I don't think you did.
Especially if PK was on it, I feel like I would have been like, I'll host this one since we're having outside people. Like that would have been. My guess would be me, 100% honestly. But I'm not sure.
I know. It's the thing is, I don't think you did, and it's driving me nuts because I think it was either Mikey or George.
Don't ask me, pal. I would have no idea.
I'm gonna go with my instinct initially because I was asking. That's why I asked if I could phone the host. George, I think it was you.
It was me.
Let's go.
Oh my! I swear to God, I thought it was me.
No, I remember the intro being really fun.
It was kind of because I saw it in New York.
Yes.
In its premiere.
Yes. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
hilarious.
Pappy,
I do remember.
can we
now.
keep moving backwards
Yep.
in time with spoilers?
Let's go.
Episode 135.
Yes.
It's a dour one. The Gray.
Okay. This is not my guess, but Brett, don't do an Irish exit. Say bye before you leave. This was not one that I was on. But it is one of my favorite episodes. It gave us the legendary trivia response of how much a wolf
1,200 powers.
And I believe that was Stevie's trivia question.
It's one of my favorite episodes Josh ever edited. He put in the Lord of the Rings track to every death. And it was a skeleton crew. It was just me, Josh, and Money Mike. Such a fantastic and fun episode. That was me. You're correct, Pap.
Good job, Pappy.
Great
We're
episode.
moving by at a clip now. 1:30. This is going back to 2015's The Force Awakens. Who spoiled that?
I was sick on that episode, too.
You were in Disney World.
Was I?
You did a phone in.
There were a lot of phone-ins there.
Huh.
I missed the phone in.
Yeah. Maybe that. I think you're right. 2017. Yeah, that's right. Still, yep. Okay. But I was telling the host of this, I called it the Frampton Comes Alive of all Star Wars movies, and just went downhill from there. This was a Pappy episode.
I wonder what a Force Awakens pod would sound like now that we know.
I would
what we
worship
know.
it. I would call it just amazing.
But-
A+.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, that was definitely me. Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I think it's my third favorite or fourth favorite.
Pappy, episode 123, posted 3 years ago. Beetlejuice from 1988.
3 years ago, that would have been Mikey's host. That's my guess. Final answer.
Mikey?
Josh, can you confirm? I don't know. How the hell am I supposed to know?
I can confirm that. You did host that.
Michael Keaton, what a guy.
You hadn't seen that before, right, Mikey? Wasn't that like your first time?
Yeah, I think I went into it blind. Love that movie though. It was a great movie.
Stevie, I'm not going to lie. This is a hard one. We're going to go back to episode 114. I hope you get this right, because I want to go even further back in spoilers history. But episode 114, Morty's Mind Blowers.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Rick and Morty season 3, episode 8.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, that's a landmine.
This is just how it worked out, but I'm truly sorry it's tough, but
Are you just picking numbers from a hat? My God. Give me the fitty.
do you have that?
Yeah, I only used the phone a friend so far.
Dang, I erased Pappy's from last one. Josh or Brother Jordan.
Oh, that narrows it down.
It's like the same person.
Yeah, same voice, really.
Same DNA runs in
The
their
same
veins.
dinner.
Half of it.
I will say Brother Jordan.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure that's right, yeah?
Is that right?
Oh my God.
The game continues.
I haven't used my 50-50, right? Or have I?
Yes, you have. No one has any lifelines left
I have?
after that.
Okay.
Oh, no.
They're done. Happy. 112. Troll Hunter.
Josh. Final answer.
Got it. Nice. That episode was pretty early for us, but I feel like it informed us on like how to do a good indie movie or something like that.
And also, it's hard to pull clips from movies in foreign languages, so that can make editing a little strange.
For sure. Stevie, you're up. It's
Jesus
spoilers,
Christ.
episode 110. No lifelines left. It's the movie It from 2017.
Oh, I know that one.
I saw, if I remember correctly, it was a weird day because we had to move around the movie times. I saw this with the person I think hosted. It was a sold-out theater. I think because we went to McDonald's, but it was too long of a line to move. We went to Arby's after. I think it was Mikey.
Josh, I don't know.
You did host that one, Mikey.
That was
Let's
correct.
go.
Hey, anything that happens more than 2 weeks ago, it's out the window.
Memory is
Okay,
a funny
I really
thing.
don't care.
I'll never forget that day. It was a weird day.
Let's keep going back in time. This is another hard one for you, Pappy.
Do I have a 50-50 or no?
No.
Okay.
It's not necessarily.
What question did I
It's
use
just
it on?
because we're past 5
That's
correct
bullshit.
answers.
No, I don't lose a 50-50 for no
I'll
reason.
give it to Pat.
That's
I'll give it
horseshit.
to Stevie. Stevie, do you think you should, just as an honest friend?
Let him have a 50-50.
Okay.
Let him
Yeah.
have it.
I should have the lifelines that
For
were
pity's
established at the
sake.
beginning.
Stevie, did you get a bonus
Just
like
question.
thing
No.
there?
No, people just asked me so
No.
many lifelines that you incorporated into mine. Like, I've only used 2.
Pappy, episode of spoilers 104. Pickle Rick. It's season 3, episode 3 of Rick and Morty.
50-50. 50-50.
Do it. Brother Jordan. Or Pappy.
Those would literally be my 2 top guesses. I'll go with myself. I'll bet on myself.
You're right.
Oh my god.
Part of this is I have to go pee so incredibly bad.
We used to do so.
miss a number.
Really, we just used to do a ton of TV.
Dude, we did. This is. I don't care. I know it's long, but we did 98 episodes in 2017.
Holy shit.
Like, how is that even possible?
What?
How is that even? That's like that was like when the Beatles went to Hamburg or whatever, Germany, and they sucked and they came back and were amazing. That was us. 2017 was our Hamburg.
Dude, I haven't even done that many on Big Dumb Movie, and it's been going for years.
I don't know how we did that.
So we've already peaked. We're now in our golden years.
Got to get those 10,000 hours.
Right? Yeah. Malcolm Gladwell, that shit.
Stevie.
What do we got? Give me some ridiculous title.
Episode 99 of spoilers. It's season 7, episode 4 of Game of Thrones. The Spoils of War.
You're such an ass. I'm just going to say it's you because I think you're like the only one that was still on the Thrones wagon at that point. I'll say you,
That would've been my
George.
guess.
I hate you so much.
Am I right?
You're right.
Let's go.
This is
Time Bandits.
spoilers episode 93.
Good
The
one.
Phantom Menace.
Yo soy, that was me. Have not yet picked the third of that trilogy. Don't know if I will. Probably won't.
That was a Pappy pick?
I was on a tear. Yeah, that was
I
definitely.
thought that was a George pick.
We gotta finish out that trilogy, man.
We really do. We've come this far.
Someday. I don't want to give Anthony Daniels any more fucking movies.
Oh, that's true.
Movies.
That's
Oh, yeah,
true.
he must be
Forgot about
stopped.
that.
He must be stopped.
Stevie,
What do we got now?
episode 89. Heat.
Okay, this is when I was really proud of Jordan. I called this like
The one time.
my
200 episodes ago, back when I was proud.
I got texted Jordan personally and said you picked like my favorite spoilers movie ever. And that's still in my top 10 movies of all time. It's my number 1 movie of the 90s. That's a Jordan pick.
See our Cinestudy episode.
I'm pretty sure that's
man.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate you guys because according to the algorithm, we're now at episode 77 of spoilers. 12 Angry Men. Pappy.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Is this to me? That was who was here for a brief summer jaunt.
Not gonna name names.
Nope.
I did. I'm Pappy. He's.
That's correct. Oh
I'm
man.
gonna start
Okay.
crying laughing.
Stevie, episode 75 of
Oh
spoilers.
my god.
Adaptation period.
Well, that's an easy
Oh,
one.
that was fun. That's an easy one. That's when I wanted.
Legendary.
That's when I really should have been fired, and it still blows my mind how hard Papster went in the paint on that movie. I think Josh and I are the only enlightened ones. That's a George pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I literally had I literally had a phone conversation with you like 2 weeks ago, Stevie, where I said, "Can you admit that I was a little right? That's a little pretentious
You're
to
a
do
little
that."
right, but it didn't deserve that much hate.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
Pappy, episode 73. The Grand Budapest Hotel.
That was Stevie. He had his sister.
Yeah,
on
that is
with
correct. Sister Jen was on there.
If you didn't mention the sister, I was gonna not give it to you. I wanted this to end so badly.
him. This is your game. Don't derail it with some technicality, Josh. Play it through. Let's get to negative numbers.
All right, let's keep going back. 72 then, Stevie, is you. That's the movie Aliens.
Great episode.
I think we had a Josh friend call in. This is when I was still at the apartments. Did Alien and about ruined the podcast. No offense if you're listening. That was a...
He's not.
That was a Papster episode, if I recall.
Aliens?
Aliens, right?
No, I spoiled Aliens. I didn't spoil Aliens.
Right, Mike.
Yeah, that's the one he said.
I spoiled Aliens.
Plural.
Yeah. Did Alien.
That's what,
yeah, so...
no, I'm just saying that I say it funny.
Okay, yeah, game over, man. That was Pappy.
That's correct. Pappy, episode 70. So this is just double digits, like totally here. But the fate of the Furious.
I don't know. I know that Stevie and Josh weren't on that episode because they did Sandy Wexler, so it wouldn't have been either of them. At the time, that would leave Mikey, Jordan. I think Kirsten was also on that episode. Actually, I'm gonna just say myself. I think I did it. I'm gonna bet on myself again. Me.
Do we lose Josh?
The game went so long, he died.
Is it
I
over?
had to take a pee.
Did he leave?
Suspense is killing me.
I hope it lasts.
I hope it lasts.
I know you're right about Kirsten being on that. I don't remember who hosted it though.
Kirsten was on the episode, boys. And because of that, brother Jordan hosted. Really? Which means Stevie will be the ring bearer again.
Let's go!
And following in tradition, Mikey shall be the Gollum. No playoff.
Oh my! I told you. I told you guys
Holy
like 4
shit.
episodes ago. I'm not giving up this ring.
But, Josh, you gonna turn it on its head?
I'm not. This is it, boys.
I'm ready to fall on the sword once again because this trivia has gone on way too long.
Once again.
Just slice my own throat with Sting.
No, there's no bonus trivia. Stevie just wins. Pappy, good day. Stevie.
Day, sir.
Good game.
Let's toss it.
Truly impressive.
I'm going to toss it over to Spoiler Man for a second, but I want you to think of your punishment movie for Mikey, okay?
Okay, we'll do.
All right, take us away, Spoiler Man.
Spoiler Man here. Our email is podcastspoilers@gmail.com. Twitter is @spoilers_pod. Our Instagram is podcast spoilers. It's lit. Josh Hensley from the Rutabaga wrote our theme song.
And we're back. I know that was a surprise, super long Chapter 7 to the point that Brett had to peace out a little bit ago, but thanks everyone.
The Packers had already won, and he still pieced out.
It's a dilemma. No one knows. But that's it. Stevie, please give us our punishment movie, and then honestly, just take us away.
Okay, I don't want to draw this out, but one of my favorite things I ever did was I did an Al Pacino impression on Hereditary, and I really went for it. It's not something I normally do in this podcast, but I really went for it. And I want Mikey to see Al Pacino going for it.
Yes.
Yes.
And Jack and Jill.
Yes.
But it's not Al anymore. It's
Dunkachino.
Dunkachino. Yeah, so Jack and Jill, Money's punishment pick.
Hey, that movie features Al Pacino, a legend, and Adam Sandler, who was really cut out of the Oscars last year for Uncut Gems. So
One of the
there's
best movies of 2019.
Two fantastic actors. I expect nothing but top quality. I don't see how this could not be 5 stars on Letterboxd, honestly. So I'm very excited to host this.
I had 2 picks. If Mikey won, it was gonna be Jack and Jill. If Brett won, it was gonna be Shakes the Clown. So,
I was gonna give him a like Bowling for Columbine or something else from that director.
Oh Jesus!
Oh God!
That's funny.
Michael Moore.
Thank you all for listening. This is honestly, I know it's a long episode, but it is so much fun to break down, such an amazing film like Two Towers over 7 parts. Thank you so much for listening. This was Spoilers.
Hey, Josh here, and one more quick thing before we're out, and that is, if you're listening to this far deep into the episode and you've listened to me call Aragorn Aragon like 60 times during the 7-part series, maybe consider going to patreon.com/spoilerspodcast and maybe just sign up for our stauncher level membership. Thanks.
She could do it. Yes, precious, she could. And then we takes it once they're dead. Once they're dead. Come on, hobbits. Long ways to go yet. Smeagol will show you the way. Follow me.
That was Spoilers.